Hey everyone! When we talk about the future of artificial intelligence and its role in global security and infrastructure, one company that keeps coming up in the conversation is BigBear.ai Holdings, ticker symbol BBAI. This is a firm operating right at the intersection of defense, logistics, and AI technology, an industry crossroads that's only becoming more important as governments all around the world ramp up their spending on artificial intelligence at unprecedented levels. Recently, the U.S. government passed a sweeping funding package nicknamed the One Big Beautiful Bill, or OB3 for short. This piece of legislation allocates massive amounts of money to strengthen national defense and security infrastructure. Just to put the scale into perspective, $170 billion is being funneled into the Department of Homeland Security, while another $150 billion is earmarked for the Department of Defense. These aren't just broad numbers on a page either. The funds are directed into very specific areas like border security technologies, advanced biometrics, drone swarm programs, and even next-generation shipbuilding. Now here's where BigBear.ai comes in. Many of these budget allocations align almost perfectly with the solutions BigBear.ai already develops and markets. For example, their VeriScan system is designed for biometric screening. Their Conductor OS platform enables autonomous command and control capabilities, and their Shipyard AI product handles the complex logistics tied to defense and maritime operations. In other words, the areas receiving huge injections of federal funding are the exact same areas where BigBear.ai has been building expertise and technology. That overlap sets the stage for potentially significant opportunities. Of course, not everything has been smooth sailing for BigBear.ai recently. Looking at their second quarter 2025 financial results, the company did face turbulence. Revenue dipped to about $32.5 million, largely because of delays and disruptions tied to certain Army contracts. On top of that, their adjusted EBITDA numbers showed an even deeper loss, reflecting the challenges of executing during a transitional period. But here's an important detail investors sometimes overlook. The balance sheet tells a different story. Despite those short-term revenue pressures, BigBear.ai is actually sitting on its strongest financial position in company history, with around $391 million in cash reserves. That kind of liquidity provides flexibility, whether it's scaling operations, pursuing new contracts, or even making acquisitions to strengthen their portfolio. Having that much cash on hand acts as a cushion against short-term setbacks and gives management the runway to execute on a bigger vision. And it's not just about U.S. government spending anymore. BigBear.ai is actively expanding its global footprint. For example, there's a $1.4 trillion AI investment framework with the United Arab Emirates, which represents a staggering pool of potential funding. Beyond the UAE, the company has also been moving into other international markets, including strategic initiatives in Panama and discussions across multiple regions worldwide. These partnerships mean BigBear.ai isn't confined to U.S. budgets alone. It's positioning itself to tap into AI demand on a global scale. That said, risks remain. Federal contracting cycles are notoriously slow and bureaucratic, which can cause lumpy revenue recognition and project delays. Expanding into new international markets also comes with execution challenges ranging from regulatory environments to competition with entrenched players. But even with those risks in mind, the broader backdrop is highly supportive. With governments and corporations worldwide treating AI as a generational investment, companies like BigBear.ai are in the right place at the right time. Now, let's put things in perspective by comparing BigBear.ai to its closest competitors. Two names that immediately stand out are Palantir Technologies, ticker PLTR, and C3.ai, ticker AI. Palantir has built a reputation as the go-to AI and data analytics partner for U.S. defense and intelligence agencies. Their platforms help decision-makers process massive streams of data to make sense of complex situations in real time. Because of long-standing government relationships and a proven track record, Palantir enjoys a strong competitive advantage. Whenever investors look at BigBear.ai, they inevitably measure it against Palantir, simply because the overlap in mission and target customers is so direct. On the other hand, C3.ai has carved out a different identity. Unlike BigBear.ai, which has remained very defense-focused, C3.ai markets itself as a broad enterprise AI provider. Their solutions cut across multiple industries: defense, yes, but also energy, manufacturing, and even commercial enterprise software. That diversification gives C3.ai a level of resilience that more specialized players don't have. If demand in one sector slows, they can lean on others. So, where does this leave BigBear.ai? The company doesn't have Palantir's decades of deep integration with intelligence agencies, nor does it have C3.ai's diversified portfolio across multiple industries. But it does have something unique, a very focused expertise in areas like biometric identification, autonomous command and control, and defense logistics. These are niches where BigBear.ai could carve out a defensible market position, especially as governments funnel massive amounts of money into precisely those categories. The bottom line here is that BigBear.ai finds itself at a pivotal moment. The short-term numbers may show volatility, but the long-term setup is compelling. With the biggest cash reserves in company history, alignment with massive government funding priorities, and a growing international presence, the company is well positioned to secure a slice of the AI investment boom. At the same time, it faces serious competition and must execute flawlessly to stand out. If BigBear.ai can capitalize on its strengths, manage the contracting risks, and successfully expand overseas, it could transform from a niche player into a major force in the AI-driven defense and infrastructure space. Investors will want to watch carefully, not just the quarterly revenue numbers, but also the company's ability to win large-scale contracts and build durable partnerships both in the US and abroad. Because, make no mistake, we're in the early innings of a generational shift. Artificial intelligence is reshaping how governments think about defense, how nations secure their borders, and how critical infrastructure operates. BigBear.ai is positioning itself to ride that wave. The only question is whether it can outmaneuver its larger and more established rivals in what's becoming one of the most competitive industries on the planet. This is not financial advice.